Today's video is all about crucial care tips for your string of pearls plant. I'll be sharing with you the most important tips when it comes to growing a healthy Senecio Rowleyanus. Thanks for checking out this video. I'm Tyler. If you like what you're hearing or you find this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, or better yet, you can subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be answering all of your questions when it comes to getting your string of pearls plant to grow and flourish. So many folks have challenges when it comes to the string of pearls plant in terms of, well, keeping them alive for starters. These plants are tricky for some. Starting with light, like most houseplants, these plants as well want good, bright, indirect light. And you really would be doing them an injustice if you put them in a non-south-facing window. In all honesty, I think one of the big problems you may be having is it's just not getting enough light. So I can't highly recommend enough that south-facing window. These want to get a really good light source. I did have this plant hanging from my ceiling, and I wasn't 100% sure on the location and the spot that I put it in. So I used a 3M, one of those sticky tabs and hooks. And unfortunately, this guy did have a little bit of a fall. So I have lost some of my beautiful trailing string of pearls, but overall, I think this guy is going to be just fine. So needless to say, I'm really glad that my string of pearls plant has survived. Unfortunately, he did get a bit of a haircut. So this does bring me to the pot that you're going to use to plant up your string of pearls plant. I have gone here with a hanging vessel. Some might even call this a sort of Kokedama of sorts. I'm relatively new to the art and huge history of Kokedama in Japan, and I'm very much still in love with my Birkin Philodendron that I have in a Kokedama. And if you haven't already seen that video, I'll throw up a link, so please check that one out. Anyways, a string of pearl plants like to be snug, and they do have a fairly shallow root system. So I would really recommend that you use the same sized or very similar sized pot that they came in from the nursery or wherever you got them from. You're definitely not going to want to put them in a larger pot. A hanging pot is probably ideal because these are trailing succulents and they're so ornamental. These plants need good aeration and the soil needs to be very well draining. If you are going to pot these guys up in more of a regular pot, make sure it has a drainage hole and well draining soil that is ideal for succulents. When it comes to watering these plants, you definitely do not want to overwater them. They are a succulent. So if you are unsure, maybe creating a schedule in which you water them every other week is probably best. This guy I have here is at the tail end of flowering, and one of my favorite things about the string of pearls plant is that when it does flower and in bloom, the flowers have a really subtle cinnamon scent, which is just really awesome, and who doesn't love that? In terms of fertilizer, you definitely don't want to overdo it in this department when it comes to your string of pearls plant. It only really needs a tiny bit of fertilizer that's definitely diluted down in the growing season. When it comes to the non-growing season and winter months, you're definitely not going to want to use any fertilizer whatsoever. In terms of propagating your string of pearls, this is a lot easier than caring for them for most. And this is in part because of the shallow root system that they have, but also because they easily develop roots. I'll show you one of the simplest ways right now. So take your clean and sharp pair of shears, and you're gonna wanna find a strand and stem that is about 5 or 6 inches long. So this will do here, and give that guy a little bit of a snippet. And then every location that has one of these little peas or pods or pearls is a node. So if you remove carefully about 2 to 3 inches worth of this, it will set you up nicely to propagate, and I'll show you that next. So this end here where I've removed the pearls is what is going to go in the soil. So you're going to want to create a little divot and then insert that like so. I'll show you right now. So you can just use your pinky and very carefully just put that in like this, and then just sort of gently push that like that. So the fabulous thing about this technique of propagating is it allows you to obviously add several propagated pieces of your string of pearls plant, and that way when this guy starts to take and the roots start to develop, you have a fuller plant. Well, I hope you found this video useful. Miss you already. See you next Saturday.